So children, we continue the discussion of this modern periodic table. I have met this periodic table. There is one element is missing as yet, hydrogen. I will explain that to you later on. Okay, so why I have not put it as yet, it will be placed separately. Now if you see this periodic table, if you see in any group, so these are all group and periods, it is very little place, so I am writing like this: periods, this is period 1, period 2, period 1 is helium, that is period 1, this is period 2, this is period 3, period 4, period 5, period 6, period 7. This is how it is, and this period is lanthanide, and this period is actinized. Period is also known as series. These are also known as series. Now I would like to see how they have got similarities in the properties, and believe you me, they have got similarities in the properties on the basis of their similarities in the outermost electronic configuration. So I'll take up one by one group and I will explain to you. Now let me go to group 1. So group 1, so if you see lithium, atomic number 3, so the configuration is 1s2 2s1. Sodium, atomic number 11, so configuration is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s1. You go to potassium, atomic number is 19, so configuration is 1s2. If you remember, we have done that in my introductory lecture. 2s2, then 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, and then 4s1. So if you ask me what is the outermost electronic configuration of lithium, I say it is 2s1. That is, in the outermost shell is the second shell. In the second shell, in the s subshell, there is only one electron. That is the situation in the outermost shell. What about sodium? 3s1. That means the outermost shell is the third shell. There is s subshell in which there is only one electron. Similarly, potassium, it is 4s1. One electron in the s subshell of the outermost shell, that is fourth shell. So that means they all have got outermost electronic configurations 2s1, then 3s1, 4s1, whatever is the period, that will be the outermost shell, by the way. So this outermost shell is fourth shell, 4s1, this will be 5s1, this will be 6s1, this will be 7s1. So in short, I say the outermost electronic configuration is ns1. So group 1 outermost configuration is ns1. So all of them in the outermost shell, there is s subshell and there is one electron, and therefore they all behave in the same manner, and that's why they will have similarities in their physical and chemical properties. Now let me take the next one. So I'll just take one or two elements and I'll be able to show that. Now if you take the first element, beryllium. So beryllium atomic number is 4. So our configuration is 1s2 2s2. Magnesium atomic number is 12. So configuration is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2. So if you ask me what is the outermost configuration of beryllium, 2s2, magnesium 3s2, calcium 4s2, strontium 5s2, like that. That means their common outermost electronic configuration is ns2. N represents the outermost shell, configuration ns2. In the outermost shell, there is 2 electrons and both the electrons are present in the s subshell. Is that okay? That is how s1, s2, and that's why I made 2 vertical columns over here. Now after this I will come later on. Now here if you look, there are 6. So it will be P1, P2, P3, P4, P5 and P6. Except of course helium. Helium is an exception. उसके बारे में हम लोग बाद में करेंगे. First I go to this one, boron. So atomic number, if you see boron, group 13, boron, atomic number 5. So configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. Outermost shell is the second shell. There are 3 electrons, 2 electrons in the s subshell and 1 electron in the p subshell. So that is why I have to write 2s2 2p1. Aluminium, if you see, it will be 13. So configuration is 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p1. If you ask me what is the outermost configuration, I say 3s2 3p1. That is outermost shell is the third shell. In the third shell, there are 3 electrons, 2 in the s subshell and 1 in the p subshell. So I think you have understood. There will be 4s2, 4p1, 5s2, 5p1, 6s2, 6p1, 7s2, 7p1. That means their common outermost electronic configuration will be, I'll be able to write it like this, that is ns2 np1. Now next one, if I write for carbon, I think you will be able to understand for all others. So for carbon, atomic number 6. So it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. So this configuration is 2s2, 2p2. This will be 3s2, 3p2, 4s2, 4p2. That means common outermost shell configuration will be ns2, np2. For the next group, I take one element, that is nitrogen. That will be good enough. Nitrogen, atomic number 7. Configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. I hope you understand. 2 electron in the s subshell of the first shell, 2 in the s subshell of the second shell, 3 in the p subshell of the second shell. So 2 plus 2, 4 plus 3, 7. So outermost configuration, I'll write 2s2, 2p3. Next one will be 3s2, 3p3, 4s2, 4p3, 5s2, 5p3. That means common outermost configuration will be ns2, np3. So you must understand, when I arranged it, it got arranged in such a manner that all the elements in a particular vertical column, they have got common outermost electronic configuration, and therefore they will have similarities in their properties. Now if you see the group 16, take the case of oxygen. Oxygen, atomic number 8. So configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. So 2 plus 2, 4 plus 4, 8 electrons. Outermost configuration is 2s2, 2p4. There will be 3s2, 3p4, 4s2, 4p4. That means common outermost configuration of group 16 will be ns2, np4. Then I go to group 17. If I take the case of fluorine, I think that will be sufficient. Fluorine, atomic number 9. Configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. Why 2 plus 2, 4 plus 5, 9 electrons. Outermost configuration is 2s2, 2p5. If you see chlorine, you will notice it will be 3s2, 3p5. Bromine, 4s2, 4p5, 5s2, 5p5. So the common outermost electronic configuration is ns2, np5. Means in the outermost shell there are 7 electrons, 2 in the s subshell, 5 in the p subshell. Now for group 18, I'll talk about the neon. Helium, I'm not talking about it at the moment. Now if I talk about the neon, atomic number is 10. So configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. Take the case of argon, atomic number 18. So configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. So if you ask me what is the neon outermost configuration, 2s2, 2p6. Here it is 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 4p6, 5s2, 5p6, like that. That means in the outermost shell they have got 8 electrons, that is octet. Out of that, 2 in the s subshell and 6 in the p subshell. So here I will write the configuration is ns2, np6. Now ask me, sir, what about helium? Helium, well children, atomic number is 2. So its configuration is 1s2. It has got only one shell. There is only one subshell which has got ability of having 2 electrons, which it has got by the grace of God, and therefore it is inactive, just like the neon, argon, krypton, radon, etc. And since it is inactive like these elements, or its activity is less, so it falls in the category of noble elements. So in spite of having a different electronic configuration, it is placed in the same group because its behavior is same like others. But except helium, everybody else has got configuration of ns2, np6, whereas helium has got configuration of 1s2, but it is not placed in group 2 because group 2 elements, they are all active metals. Helium is not, so it is not put here. So remember, the focus of making the periodic table is to classify the elements on the basis of the similarities. And it so happens similarities depend upon the common outermost electronic configuration. Therefore, by and large, the classification has been done on the basis of the similarities in the outermost electronic configuration. Is that okay, children? Now what I do is I move to the group 3. Now here it will be little interesting. You must see this, how it is made. Group 3. You take the case of scandium. Scandium, if you notice, 21 to 30, 10 electrons, 10 elements. So here d orbital will get filled up. So here s1, s2, p1 to p6. This will be d1 to d10, and here 14 elements, you must have guessed, f1 to f14. I'll come to that afterwards. First let me talk about this. So here what will be the configuration? So scandium, atomic number 21. So configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, then 4s2, and after 4s 3d gets filled up according to above principle, then it will be 3d1. So if anybody asks me what is the outermost electronic configuration, I have to mention 4s2 because fourth shell is the outermost shell, but I have to also mention 3d1 because the last electron has not gone to the outermost shell but the second last shell, it has entered the 3d. So this will, so iska jo configuration hoega, it will be 4s2, 3d1. If you ask me for yttrium, 5s2, 4d1. This will be 6s2, 5d1, 7s2, 6d1. In other words, the common outermost configuration will be ns2, n minus 1, d1. Is that clear to you? That is why for group 3, from scandium itself I can get an idea. The configuration will be ns2, n minus 1, d1. So if n cell is the fourth cell, n minus 1 will be third shell. Here n cell will be fifth shell, so n minus 1 will be fourth shell. That's why it will be 5s2, 4d1, 6s2, 5d1. It is like this. Now for the next group, if you see, so you just see the case of titanium. Titanium, atomic number 22. So it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d2. It is like this. So 4s2, 3d2 will be the outermost electronic configuration. Why I am writing 4s2? Because the outer shell is the fourth shell. Why I am writing 3d2? Because last electron jahan pe gaya, wo I have to mention. So last electron has gone to 3d. So I am writing 3d2. So this will be 5s2, 4d2, 6s2, 5d2. And therefore, the common outermost electronic configuration will be ns2, n minus 1, d2. Now, if you see the group 5, so I take the case of vanadium, you will immediately get the idea. Vanadium 23, so it will be 3d, 3, 2 plus 2, 4 plus 6, 10, 12, 18, 20, 23. So its common outermost configuration will be ns2, n minus 1, d3. So everyone will have that configuration. So it will be ns2, n minus 1, d3. If I go to next one, group 6, so chromium, atomic number 24. So this configuration will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d4. This is what is the original configuration. But if you ask me to write the outer configuration, so I will write this is 3d, this will be 3d, here little change will be there, this is 3d, and this will be 4s. So original configuration is 4s2, 3d4. But children, I must tell you one very important thing over here, that for every atom, they want to have all their orbitals either fully filled or half filled or vacant. If the orbitals are fully filled or half filled or vacant, it gives them extra stability. Now in case of chromium, this is what is a God-given configuration. So what happens is 3d, just like that I am telling you like a story, 3d tells 4s, hey come on, give me one electron over here. Then I get half filled, you also get half filled. In the bargain, entire electronic configuration becomes stable. So 4s says, okay, no problem, I'll shift this electron over here, and the energy difference between the two is not much, so this electron gets shifted over here, this electron gets shifted over here. So originally the configuration was 4s2 3d4, but it ultimately becomes 4s1 3d5. Do you understand my point? So that means for group 6 there are two configurations you can write: ns2 n minus 1, you can write it as ns2 n minus 1 d4, that is original, or it actually becomes, for stability purpose, ns1 n minus 1 d5, and similar thing you will find also in group number 11. I hope you are okay with this, children. This is for chromium, that is for group 6. Now if you go to group 7, so for group 7 I'll take one case, that is manganese, Mn atomic number 25. So the configuration will be like this: 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6, 2 plus 2 4 plus 6 10 plus 2 12 plus 6 18, then 4s2 20, and then 3d5 25. So its configuration, next one will be 5s2 4d5, 6s2 5d5. So the configuration is ns2 n minus 1 d5. So for group 7 the configuration will be ns2 n minus 1 d5. Is it okay, children? Now I am coming to for group number 8. Group 8 Fe. So you just see Fe and etc. So F एक देखेगा तो बाकी सबका आ जाता है, Fe 26. So it will be 3d6, and therefore the common configuration will be ns2 n minus 1 d6. Is it okay? Now you go to the next one, cobalt, that is group 9. In fact, I am going to group 9. The representative I take is cobalt. So if I see for cobalt, I will be able to understand for other. Atomic number 27. So it will be 4s2 3d7. That means the common configuration will be ns2 n minus 1 d7. So the common outermost electronic configuration is ns2 n minus 1 d7. If you see the next one, nickel atomic number, that is group number 10. So if you see nickel, you will then get the idea of group 10. I hope you understand that. So this is atomic number 28. So it will be 4s2 3d8. So 2 electrons in the s subshell of the first shell, 2 electrons in the s subshell of the second shell, 6 electrons in the p subshell of the second shell, 2 electrons in the s subshell of the third shell, 6 electrons in the p subshell of the third shell, 2 electrons in the s subshell of the fourth shell, and then 8 electrons in the d subshell of the third shell. So configuration will be common configuration for all of them. This nickel, palladium, platinum, ns2 n minus 1 d8. So I write the configuration as ns2 n minus 1 d8. Now I am coming to group 11. I will try to understand with copper. So if I understand with copper, I think I understand everything. So I write here for copper, Cu atomic number 29, 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6 4s2 3d9, and that means I am writing over here the common configuration for group 11 will be ns2 n minus 1 d9. So children, if you see it, it will be like this. This will be n minus 1 d, 1 2 3 4 5, and this is ns. So it is ns, this is n minus 1 d, ns 2, and n minus 1 d, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Same way, now n minus 1 d will tell ns, if you give one electron over here, then this orbital gets filled up and your orbital will be half filled. So So this will be completely filled, this will be half filled, it will give extra stability. So NS says no problem. If it gives extra stability to the electronic configuration of the atom, I don't mind. So what happens, this electron will get shifted over here, and mind you, if there is enough energy to shift the position, there will be enough energy to change the spin. So anti-clockwise will become, sorry, so anti-clockwise only it will remain. So it will be like this, and when it becomes like this, that means it eventually ends up with what? NS1, N minus 1 D10. Everybody is happy. NS has become half filled, N minus 1 D has become fully filled, and entire configuration has become stable. And therefore, for group 11, I'll write the configuration is NS2, N minus 1 D9, but it changes to, so or NS2, NS1, the one electron will get shifted, N minus 1 D10. So this will give extra stability. Is it okay? Now I'm coming to group 12. So group 12, for that, if I see zinc, I think I'll be able to understand zinc atomic number 30. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, 3d10. So outer configuration is 4s2, 3d10. That means outer configuration is ns2, n minus 1 d10. So they all have this same configuration, so they have got similarities in their properties. So moral of the story, group 1, they have got similarities in the properties because they all have got common configuration of ns1. Group 2, they have got common configuration of ns2. Group 13, ns2 np1. 14, they all have got configuration of ns2 np2. 15, ns2 np3. 16, ns2 np4. N stands for the outermost shell. 17, ns2 np5. 18, ns2 np6. Only exception is helium, which has got configuration of 1s2, but it is stable like others, hence it is placed in the same group. Then group 3, ns2 n minus 1 d1. Group 4, ns2 n minus 1 d n minus 1 d2. ns2 n minus 1 d2. Group 5, ns2 n minus 1 d3. Group 6, ns2 n minus 1 d4, which changes to ns1 n minus 1 d5 for extra stability. It changes like this. Group 7, ns2 n minus 1 d5. Group 8, ns2 n minus 1 d6. Group 9, ns2 n minus 1 d7. Group 10, ns2 n minus 1 d8. Now group 11, originally ns2 n minus 1 d9, but for stability it changes to ns1 n minus 1 d10. And group 12 is ns2 n minus 1 d10. Is it okay with you? Now we have to have a special discussion how these elements are placed separately, that is lanthanides and actinides. Okay, and obviously 14 elements in the series, so there what is getting filled up is f orbital, and that I will discuss in my next video. Is that okay, children? Thank you. Thanks a lot. God bless you.